What's up, everyone? I've been dying to jump on here because some absolutely crazy news just dropped that could change everything for BLUM token holders. If you've been grinding on Telegram for months waiting for that sweet TGE payday, you need to watch this entire video right now. Just hours ago, reports started flooding in that Vladimir Smecki, the co-founder of BLUM, has been arrested in Moscow. Yes, you heard that right, arrested. And this isn't just some random FUD or Twitter rumor. The team has already released an official statement attempting to distance themselves from him, saying he's stepped down as CMO and is no longer involved in the development of the project or any co-founder activity. Let's be real for a second. You don't suddenly step down and get completely removed from a project you co-founded unless something seriously wrong is happening. This sudden announcement has sent shockwaves through the entire BLUM community, with many people already calling it the death knell for what was one of Telegram's most hyped airdrops. But before you panic delete your Telegram mini app and write off your months of engagement, let's take a deep breath and break down exactly what's happening, what it could mean for your airdrop, and whether there's still hope for BLUM token holders. First, let's look at the facts. According to multiple sources, Vladimir Smecki was arrested in Moscow. The exact charges haven't been officially confirmed, but the community is buzzing with allegations that this isn't his first crypto rodeo gone wrong. People are digging into his past and claiming he was involved with other projects that ended up scamming communities, specifically mentioning PS and several other tokens that disappeared with users' funds. This is particularly concerning because it suggests a pattern of behavior rather than a one-off mistake. If these allegations are true, it raises serious questions about the due diligence done by the rest of the BLUM team. Did they not know about his past? Or did they know and decided to partner with him anyway? Neither option inspires confidence. The timing couldn't be worse for BLUM supporters. The airdrop qualification period literally just ended days ago, and everyone was eagerly waiting for the TGE announcement. People have spent months, grinding activities, completing tasks, referring friends, all to maximize their potential airdrop. And now this bombshell drops right at the finish line. What makes this even more suspicious is the way the team handled the announcement. Notice how they said he stepped down before the news of his arrest went public. That's a classic PR move, trying to create distance between a toxic individual and the brand before the real damage hits. It's like they knew what was coming and tried to get ahead of it. The community response has been absolute chaos. Telegram groups and Twitter are exploding with people calling BLUM a scam, sharing screenshots of Vladimir's alleged past projects, and warning others to abandon ship. I've been monitoring the main channels, and the panic is real. People who were celebrating their qualification status just days ago are now wondering if they wasted months of their time. But here's where things get interesting. Not everyone is convinced this spells doom for BLUM. Some community members are pointing out that one bad actor doesn't necessarily mean the entire project is corrupt. After all, there are other team members, investors, and stakeholders involved who presumably still want to see BLUM succeed. The big question on everyone's mind is, will the TGE still happen? Is the airdrop still coming? There are three possible scenarios we need to consider. Scenario 1. BLUM is indeed a sophisticated scam. Vladimir got caught, and the whole house of cards is about to come tumbling down. In this scenario, there will never be a TGE, and all that time spent qualifying for the airdrop was unfortunately wasted. Scenario 2. Vladimir was the bad apple in an otherwise legitimate project. The team will regroup, possibly rebrand, delay the TGE, but eventually deliver something to the community. The token might launch under different circumstances or with modified tokenomics, but holders would still receive value. Scenario 3. This is all an elaborate FUD campaign designed to crash sentiment right before TGE. Stranger things have happened in crypto, and we've seen coordinated attacks on projects before they launch to create buying opportunities for whales. Personally, I'm leaning towards scenario 2, and here's why. The BLUM project has built too much infrastructure and community to simply disappear overnight. They've been integrated into the Telegram mini app ecosystem, created a complex points and activity system, and established partnerships that would be difficult to fake at scale. Also, if this was a pure scam, why would they go through the trouble of building such an elaborate ecosystem? Most scams take the money and run at the first opportunity. BLUM has been developing their platform for months with regular updates and feature additions. That said, I'm not blindly optimistic. The fact that a co-founder has been arrested is a massive red flag that cannot be ignored. At minimum, it shows poor judgment in selecting business partners. At worst, it could indicate deeper problems with the project's legitimacy. Here's what I recommend BLUM holders do right now. First, don't panic. Crypto is volatile not just in price, but in news cycles too. Wait for more information before making any drastic decisions. Second, diversify if you haven't already. This is why I always say, never put all your eggs in one airdrop basket. If you've been grinding exclusively on BLUM, take this as a lesson to spread your efforts across multiple projects. Third, watch for the team's response. A legitimate project would address this head-on with transparency, specific action plans, and reassurance about the path forward. If BLUM goes silent or gives vague responses, that's a concerning sign. Fourth, look for insider movements. Are team members and influencers who were promoting BLUM suddenly distancing themselves? That could indicate they have information we don't. Fifth, prepare for delayed gratification. Even if BLUM survives this scandal, the TGE will almost certainly be delayed while they regroup and possibly restructure. Let's also address the elephant in the room. What if Vladimir's alleged past with failed projects is accurate? That would mean the BLUM team either failed to vet their co-founder properly or willingly partnered with someone with a questionable history. Either scenario doesn't reflect well on their judgment or intentions. Some community members are already drawing parallels to other famous crypto collapses, like when Do Kwon of Terra Luna faced legal troubles, or when SBF of FTX was arrested. In both cases, the tokens associated with these figures crashed catastrophically. However, it's important to note that BLUM hasn't even launched its token yet, which creates a very different dynamic. There's also an interesting power dynamic at play within the project now. With Vladimir gone, who takes control? Is there a clear leadership structure in place? Projects that lose co-founders often struggle with direction and vision afterward, which could impact BLUM's development timeline, even if they intend to continue. The coming days will be critical. Keep your eyes on BLUM's official channels for announcements. Pay attention to whether they provide specific details about the project's future, or just vague reassurances. The more transparent they are about what happened and what comes next, the more likely it is that they're planning to continue legitimately. Also, watch for any unexpected changes to the tokenomics or airdrop structure. If they suddenly announce modifications to how tokens will be distributed, it could be a sign they're scrambling to adjust plans. That's not necessarily negative. Adaptive teams survive in crypto. But it's something to monitor closely. For those asking whether this affects the value of your potential airdrop, absolutely, it does. Market sentiment drives token price, and right now, sentiment is taking a serious hit. Even if the TGE proceeds as planned, this controversy will likely impact initial trading price and liquidity. That said, crypto has an incredibly short memory. Projects have recovered from worse scandals than this, especially if the remaining team executes well going forward. If BLUM can successfully distance itself from Vladimir, deliver a solid product, and maintain community trust, this could be a speed bump rather than a roadblock. Remember that in crypto, fundamentals eventually matter. If BLUM has real utility and a genuine use case, it can potentially overcome this setback. If it was running purely on hype, then this might be the reality check that exposes its weaknesses. I want to hear your thoughts on this shocking development. Do you think BLUM is finished? Or can they recover and still deliver value to the community? Are you holding on to hope for the TGE? Or have you already written off your efforts as a learning experience? Drop a comment below and let's discuss. I'll be following this story closely and will update you the moment any new information comes to light. If the BLUM team makes any official announcements about the TGE or the project's future, you'll hear it here first. Whatever happens, remember that crypto is a marathon, not a sprint. One failed project or airdrop doesn't define your journey. Stay vigilant, stay diversified, and never invest time or money you can't afford to lose. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video with any breaking updates on this developing situation. Stay safe out there, fam.